Hey Glam Babes, so today we are actually putting together a Mother's Day event for my friend. Her family are coming by. She wanted to do it so early, but you know me, I am the decorator. If you'd like to see more of my decorator ideas that I've done or things that I put together, you can go to Euphoric Events and Decor on Instagram or Facebook. I'll tag the description in below. So the first thing that we are going to do is the backdrop. She got a very cute purple, white, and gold floral theme backdrop, which I thought was really pretty. And I'm about to set them up. So we got these stands from Amazon a while ago. I will link it in the description. But these stands are sturdy. I love them so much. They get as tall as you need them to be. Trust me, because I am 5'4", and they stand about 6 feet tall, I believe. So with this banner, I will link it, but unfortunately it did not have any holes. So with it not having any holes, I had to go ahead and try to figure out how to attach it to the poles that need to go on the actual stand. So what I did is I decided to tape it to the pole. I know it's not very professional, but you gotta do what you gotta do when it comes to it. So we basically took some packaging tape and I taped it around this pole, just a little piece, not wrapped it all the way around, but I wrapped it around enough to where it was secure, and I did it all the way down the pole. And then when I decided to put the pole on top of the stands, I actually had to scrunch the side of the backdrop because trying to put holes into the backdrop didn't work because the holes just weren't big enough. Here's where I tried to put the actual sticks in between the backdrop, and I noticed that it wasn't working, so I decided to scrunch it. Now, one thing that I wish we did was added 2 curtains on the side, which I actually had at home. I had 2 curtains, I believe, that would fit the colors of the theme that can go on the side to cover up the sides of the stand. But we did what we needed to do. We did what we had to do, and it still came out really pretty. But that would be the only thing that I would add to it. So the next thing that we are going to add is the banner. She got a happy Mother's Day banner, which I feel it actually added to it. It improved it. It made it look so much better. The only thing is, I don't like the fact that we had to put it up so high. I usually like the banners, like the wording, to drape a little, and I feel like that's so much better than actually putting it straight across. But with everyone being so tall in her family, pretty much, it's like these stands weren't tall enough, I believe, for the pictures. I'm not sure because I wasn't there, but she just wanted it to be able to be seen as much as possible, so we had to make it straight instead of letting it hang. And how I secured it was, I just tied it around, kind of like when you tie your shoestrings. I tied it around the poles itself at the top, and I kind of let it hang, and that's how I was able to secure the actual banner itself. Now, I was going to try tape, but the banner was just way too heavy for to use tape because it wouldn't be secure. The next thing we're starting on are the balloon columns. We're going to be doing 2 balloon columns. I was so glad I convinced my friend not to do a balloon arch. I love the balloon arch. They look beautiful, but trust me, balloon columns are so much easier and so much quicker to do. And you can do about 4 of them, but we only went with 2 of them. Now, we are only decorating the dining room, which is why we only did 2. And trust me, these balloon columns took up a lot of space, which is why I had to adjust a lot of the room for the banner because we wanted people to be able to have a walkway walking through the dining room. So I got this balloon column set also from Amazon, and it's a set that comes with the base, a screw to tie on, with a stand that connects the balloons. Also came up with these connectors for the balloons to attach to, so you don't necessarily have to tie the balloons together, which I love so much. Like, it doesn't make it so tedious, and it makes it so much quicker to do. So you just clamp the balloons onto the clip, and there's a hole in between the clip where you can slide it down through the rod that's connected on the stand, which I very much so love. I will link this balloon column set in the description because I know if it can make your life easier with decorating, it's like a win-win. So unfortunately, I couldn't find my balloon pump. I couldn't find it anywhere. I haven't decorated in over a year, and I wasn't going to let it bother me or get to me. I said, we are only 29, we not old yet. Baby, we can go ahead and blow some air in these balloons. Now, I will say I do not recommend this, because if I were to do a balloon column, trust me, those balloons would pop, especially if we were outside. The balloon pump air and air from your own mouth are completely different, and the balloons are so much easier to pop when you are using the one from your mouth. So take that as a learning lesson and try to avoid doing that as much as possible. But if you do have to use your mouth, use balloon columns, please, because it's so much easier. And clean your area. Make sure there's nothing sharp nearby, because they are very sensitive. Now, during this balloon column, I say I used about 30 to 40 balloons on each column, and I most definitely ran out of balloons in the process. So what you'll see later on in the video is me taking all the balloons from the current balloon column that I'm working on, and I split them between the two and create into a pattern, because you got to do what you got to do, and then take all the white balloons and the purple balloons, which were the ones that we were left with, and creating a separate pattern on its own to put in between the ones we already created. So the original pattern that I went with was two gold balloons, one white, one purple, then two purple balloons, one gold, one white, and then two white balloons, one gold, one purple. That was the original pattern, but when I had to split it up, I did the gold first, the purple second, then I did it all purple, then I did a purple and white, then we went with the double white and the all white, and then another white and purple. It still came out very pretty, even though I had to split them up later on, but it was still gorgeous. I did want to say that if anyone has an alternative to tying balloons without your fingers, maybe you have a tool or something that's good at it, please direct it to me, because my thumbs are still sore from tying these balloons individually, and I had to do about 80 of them by myself. It was just crazy. My fingers are always tired after doing this. As you can see, the original pattern was very, very pretty, and I decided to put gold balloons at the top of the column because I feel like the gold balloons would just look so pretty and stand out, especially since we had the least amount of gold balloons and we had to make it work later on. This is the part where I realized I didn't have enough balloons, but this is how it came out. Now we're going to work on the centerpieces. I wanted to record from beginning, but baby, I wasn't recording apparently. So my friend got some purple gems and some clear gems, and we weren't able to actually get enough to fill the entire vase, but we made it do what it do. So we got those from Amazon. We also got the purple and white flowers from Amazon. They are long stemmed. I will say they are hard to cut, so I decided to bend most of them. Some of them I did cut in half, or like cut just a little bit of the stem so it was able to fit. As you can see, I couldn't just pour them in with the flowers in, so I just decided to kind of fill it up inside of the vase, and I layered it. I did clear, purple, then clear again, and it came out really, really pretty. I tried to split the colors up in between 3 different vases. Don't mind her, my friend, y'all. She got different sizes, different shapes in these vases, but we made it work. We put the big one in the middle and took the 2 skinny ones and put them on the side, and they came out really pretty. I'm going to show you guys. This is how it looks. It came out really cute. I feel like if I were able to cut those stems a bit more, it would have been better. Now I'm going to go in and put the chair covers on. These chair covers are white. They are from Amazon. They are not made for these type of chairs because they do not stretch completely down. So the back of the chairs, the legs were exposed. But we did go ahead and put some pretty purple tie in the back. I kind of wish I ironed these or put them in the dryer to make them a bit straighter. But I am learning with this. If anybody has tips on how to make a perfect bow with these things, please let me know. But all I did was tie it like I was tying a shoestring, and then I took like 2 sides. Basically, I did like I was tying my shoes and try my best to fluff it out to make the bow pretty. I feel like if it was crisp, like iron to the T, it would have came out prettier, but it was still cute even though it was hanging. You know, everything was still beautiful. I feel like I did a really great job with what we had, and you cannot dwell on what you do not have. That's one thing I've learned in life. Life is going to give you lemons, and baby, you're gonna have to make lemonade. Now if you don't got no sugar, it's gonna be bitter, but at least you still got lemonade, okay? Trust me, go out there and go get you some Splendor from McDonald's or something. But I did have fun putting this all together, and I love it. I do apologize for the ending part to show you guys the actual ending of the video, because I didn't do a horizontal video for it, or if I did, I don't remember. But I do still show you guys like how it looks, so I'm very excited about and happy. This is how the bows ended up turning out. I feel like if it was crisp, it would look so much better, but it was still pretty to me. So now this part, I'm actually finishing this other column. I'm trying to fill it up because your girl needed to take a break in between, like my fingers, and yeah, I couldn't like lose any more air because it was just so much. Doing 80 balloons on your own is just way too many, especially if you don't have a pump, and my fingers were burning. Here I try my best to level them out to make sure they were the same height. I didn't want to over pump or under pump any balloons because it had to be at least some sort of type of perfect. Y'all know we always gotta have a dance break in everything we do. That's how you know I'm almost done. Like, it's such a relief. I didn't get to actually film myself setting up the table, but everything will be linked in the description. I'll put it in a group where you can just automatically grab everything. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I love decorating so much. It brings me so much peace and hectic at the same time. Bye, Glam Babes.